Last year, in an amazing first for the park, 5 southern koalas arrived from Australia. They're the only koalas in England, and everyone wants to catch a glimpse of them. And that's exactly what Head of Animal Operations Darren was hoping for.
I just think it's sensational that we've got them here. For us as animal educators, engagement, inspiration, giving people something to get excited about. Koalas tick absolutely every single box.
The only thing that could make the koala keepers here happier is babies.
Like a girl.
At the moment, there are 3 ladies, Maisie, Violet, and Kurong. And 1 gent, Dennis. The hope for future generations rests on this boy's shoulders. But at just 2.5, Dennis is still a teenager in koala terms. And as keepers John and James have noticed, our furry friend is more clown than Casanova.
Some of the girls are really, really agile. You see them bouncing from tree to tree and branch to branch. Everything looks a little bit more hard work when it comes to Dennis. You see him climbing up what should be a fairly easy branch to do, but he seems to make things a little bit more complicated sometimes.
The excitement of his first trip outside sent poor Butterpaws Dennis into a complete tailspin.
He went out quite happily, had a bit of a bounce around in the branches, and then we noticed just through the outside hatches that he was in the stream. He just sort of launched into the water, landed in it, completely panicked. Oh my God, what's this? Tried to climb out, and almost slow motion comic style, tipped backwards. It's not funny. It is a little bit. And then he fell back in the water again. He was fine. We started eating just a few moments later, and that's the real sort of gold standard on if a koala's happy or not. If it eats, then it's great.
Still wet behind the ears, our Dennis is not about to win prizes for agility anytime soon.
He's a little bit clumsy, but you know, he's still young. He's like a teenage koala, so he's full of adrenaline and full of hormones. So I think sometimes he lets that get the better of him.
And like any teenager, Dennis is hungry for romance. But just how do you woo a lady koala? You bellow at her, of course. In the wild, koalas have to call potential mates over vast distances, so you can see how bellowing might be useful. And it's doing the trick here, because when Dennis calls, the girls answer. And Head of Animal Adventure, Graham, has discovered that it doesn't take too much to get this extraordinary koala karaoke started.
What we've noticed over the last few months really is that the noise of the brush seems to set Dennis off. So just a simple sweeping action, he starts to react to it, he sort of charges up and starts to bellow. That then sets the girls off, and we end up with this whole sort of a koala rock concert in here really. They're all shouting and bellowing at each other, and that's really the sign for us that they're coming into season.
All 4 koalas are around 3 years old. Perfect breeding age. They live in the same enclosure, but for now, Dennis is being kept apart from the girls. Before he can be introduced to the ladies, he needs to be in tip-top shape, and that means piling on the pounds.
Our ideal weight for Dennis would be 2 kilos heavier than the girls. So most of the girls at the moment are sitting around 6 kilos.
Since he arrived, Dennis's weight has gone from 7.3 to 7.9 kilos. But Graham's determined to shelve romance until he's hit the golden 8-kilo mark.
We're just sort of holding him back a little bit because he's not quite big enough. He's still a little teenage boy, and we don't want him to go in for the girls to just be, well, get off the tree and push him off and him have his ego knocked a little bit.
Just 100 grams of brawn stands between Dennis and a new generation of koalas. But can he make the grade and get a girlfriend by the next weigh-in? Graham certainly hopes so.
Dennis and the girls allows us to have another generation of koalas here. It'll be a relief to finally be able to get him integrated, and then to see the success that they're happy, they're comfortable, they're breeding. That's what we want. That would be the dream.